Lions United was dialed in against Chantilly on Sunday. Some fantastic goals. All the action is coming right up. This is CAF TV. Welcome, everybody. It was a bit of a lighter schedule last weekend as many teams were taking part in the Ontario Cup, but we've still got plenty of game highlights for you. Also, the boys from Lions United will join me in the studio to discuss their program, and the head coach is someone soccer fans will likely recognize as he had stints in both Portugal and Spain at the highest level. That's coming up later on. But first, BioSteel game highlights, and those Lions found themselves matched up against Chantilly forever in under-16 action on Sunday. Now, the Lions were coming off a 2-2 draw against Fogo the week before, and they were looking to get back in the win column, and against the boys from Hamilton, they put on a clinic. Half game highlights now, brought to you by BioSteel Sports Nutrition. BioSteel, drink the pink. And the Lions came to play in this one, and Chantilly got caught up in the onslaught. Just third minute of play. Damien Lencina, you'll be hearing his name a lot more today. This was just the tip of the iceberg. Slams it home, and it's 1-0 for Lions United. 25th minute now, Lencina, 22 yards out. Money perfectly struck, and he was just getting warmed up. 2-0 Lions. Second frame, the Lions continued to press. Anthony Ferreira, this would have been gorgeous. Rings it off the crossbar though. But then it was back to the Lencina show. Free kick from 24 yards out this time. Beautiful. 3 goals total for him, 2 on free kicks, and he couldn't possibly do it again, could he? Oh yes, he could. 3 free kick tallies in a row. How often do you see that? 4-0 Lions. And incredibly, he had a chance for a 4th score. This would have been the best of the bunch. Just slides over top of the bar though, and he has to have a little chuckle about it afterwards. 79th minute, Lucas Ferreira gets in on the fun from 30 yards out. Gorgeous strike. 5-0 Lions United, and they would add one more for good measure. Unfortunate goalie miscue here as he can't quite contain it. And the second half of the Ferreira dynasty, this time it's Anthony taking advantage. 6-0 final. Man of the match with 4 goals. Damien Lencina stopped by to talk about his free kick prowess.
Yeah, I've been practicing a lot of that with my coach, and I'm just glad, I could do what I can for my team. Oh, the boys were always giving 100% on the field. We're always on each other's back. If someone messes up, we got to communicate with each other, saying, nah, you know what, next time you'll get it, don't worry.
And so a painful loss for Chantilly, to say the least, but their under-20 squad were looking to salvage a bit of pride for the Hamilton Academy, taking on CAF newcomers Canadian SC on Sunday, and it was the perfect opportunity to do so. The Canucks had yet to notch a W through 4 weeks of play, and despite an improved performance this time around, those 3 points continued to elude them. It's been bad luck for Canadian mostly this season, but early on in this one, luck was on their side. 5th minute of play, Chantilly on the attack. They will tee it up, but here's where the luck comes in for Canadian, as off the crossbar it goes, and it's still scoreless. Soon after, though, that pesky iron denies Canadian at the other end. Kevin Zapadia hits the crossbar as well. Second half action, Chantilly comes close again. Israel Perrin, great pass for Mohamed Les, just wide of the post though. And then finally, Canadian breaks the ice in the 59th. Andrei Marinkovic catches the keeper in no man's land. In it dribbles, and it's 1-0 for the boys in blue. But in the 73rd, Chantilly strikes back. Corner kick, the ball pops to Andrea Mulas. He pops it home, and it's all knotted up at 1 apiece. And then just 60 seconds later, here's the thing about Israel Perrin. Give this guy an inch, he will take a mile. And once he turns on the jets, there's no catching him. In it goes, and Chantilly loses its mind. Rightly so, as that turned out to be the game winner. Although they come close to adding some insurance in the last minute of play. Perrin dipping and diving, but sliding it just wide. Didn't matter on this day. Chantilly takes it 2-1. And afterwards, Andrea Mula was happy with how his boys responded strongly in the second half of play.
In the first half, it was pretty shaky. We didn't play our best. The ball movement was really sloppy, but towards the second half, we managed to get the ball going, and we did go down 1-0, but I managed to get the goal in, and I think that sparked the team. Then Israel Perrin managed to get the other goal, and then after that, the energy of the team is just much better, and I believe that's the way our team always plays, and I'm really proud of our team.
Welcome back to CAF TV. Niagara Academy made its debut in the under-16 group this year, and so far, offense definitely hasn't been a problem. Through 4 games heading into last weekend, they'd racked up a division-leading 14 goals. Problem is, they'd also allowed a division-worst 11 tallies. And unfortunately for them, against Maccabi Canada on Sunday, defensive woes continued to plague them. Maccabi, the lone unbeaten team remaining in the under-16 super group, and they strike first early. Nice deflection here by a man with no number on the game sheet, so unfortunately, I can't give him the credit he deserves, but it is a nice goal. 1-0 Maccabi, and then shortly afterwards, free kick, unfortunate bobble here by Camilo Hernandez. Mark Benamu says, thanks, I'll take it. And he slots it home, and it's 2-0 for Maccabi Canada. Niagara cuts the lead in half, though. Corner kick, Wyatt Habinski out front. He smacks it home, and it's a 2-1 deficit. Hernandez redeems himself after the earlier mistake. A beautiful shot by Kyle Wimmer. Even better stop. Very acrobatic, and that was gorgeous. Maccabi was relentless, though. Ethan Kibble playing a little give and go, and then he curls it past the keeper here. Oh my. Nice goal. 3-1 for the boys in red. Second half, this was one of the goals of the week. Count the passes. 1, and 2, then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then the sweet finish by Sebastian Agudo. Niagara, great passing, keeping it close. It was 3-2 then. Shortly after, Niagara penalty stopped. Nicholas Andriola makes the most of his second chance. Nice comeback by Niagara. It's all tied up at 3, but then Maccabi takes control. It's the mystery man again. Number 15 from 30 yards out. Picture perfect. Maccabi back on top, leading 4-3. And then shortly before the final whistle, Alexander Galbraith slams it home, and Maccabi wins going away. It's a 5-3 final. Afterwards, Ethan Kibble was impressed with how his team was able to find its second wind and pull out the victory.
A lot of boys are coming back from injury, so we took an early lead, and then they fought back. We got a little tired, but the boys showed a lot of confidence and a lot of just willpower to push in the end, and then a lot of our boys have the skill to just get those 2 goals, and we came out with the win.
Toronto Fusion is making their Supergroup debut this year in the under-20 division, and so far they've been killing it. Heading into last weekend, 2 games, 2 wins after dropping Chantilly and Canadian SC. On top for them on Saturday was another Supergroup newcomer, Exuvia Academy. Unfortunately for Exuvia, it was all Fusion all the time in this one. Early on, Exuvia miscue Alexander Cantizano picks it up, hammers it home, and that's the start they were looking for. It's 1-0 Fusion, and then soon after, Jonathan Brown just heads to the front of the net. Good idea, tips it home, hurdles the keeper for good measure, and Exuvia finds itself in a 2-0 hole, and it was nearly 3. Toronto pressing, but Joshi Kanan makes the stellar save right there to keep it at 2. Second half, Exuvia starts to get its chances. Fusion giveaway. Dante Whitaker out front, but rings it off the goalpost, and the shutout remains intact. And then Whitaker tries his luck again as he smokes the shot from well out, but screams it just over top of the bar. Problem was Fusion was burying its chances. Alphonse Bradley doing all the heavy lifting here, and he finishes in style. 3-0 for the boys from the Big Smoke, and they would add one more for good measure, slicing through the Exuvia backline and depositing. 4-0 your final. Jonathan Brown offered his analysis afterwards of his team's performance on the day.
Overall, we finished strong. The second half, we got a little lazier, late minute game, your legs get heavy and tired, but I guess we persevered, we pulled through. I'm proud of the guys, we played good, we finished strong. That's all that matters. We won, we played a good game. I'm proud of my team.
Okay, Fogo taking on Boost in under 16 action, and this was a good one. First half, Quinn Lenardi from 25 yards out. This boy was packing some heat, top shelf, one zip, Fogo, and they would add to it. Jeremy Zhang makes the original stop here. Where was the D? Nobody clears out Antonio Chiapetta, and it's 2-0 for the boys from Fogo. Boost would come back though. Nice ball here on the free kick. Joseph Ardo backdoor, and the deficit is cut in half. It's 2-1. Second half, they would even it up. Joe Morera gets dropped in the box here. Downtown, Oscar Brown goes to the line. Cooley slides it home, and it's a 2-2 game. But deep in the second half, Elias Goritzas plays the hero for Fogo, slamming it home, and Fogo pulls it out in the end. They get the 3-2 win over the boys from Boost Academy. Welcome back to CAF TV. As promised, the gentleman from Lions United joining me in the studio now, Armando Sa, the head coach, and Xavier Terenzio. Got it? Terenzio. The star forward from the under 16 squad, joining me in the studio. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Show.
Hi,
Alex. Thanks for invite the Lions to come here. It's very good for these boys, for us to come here and promote the team.
A little bit of experience for Xavier here. First time on television.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you showed off well on Sunday against Chantilly. We showed some of the highlights of these guys. Big 6-0 win over Chantilly. Wanted to ask you about that and how you thought the team played. Obviously very impressive. And specifically, I wanted to ask you about it's Damien Lencina, pardon me. The free kicks that we witnessed, 3 in a row. Is this something he normally does?
He's been getting better at it. He's been practicing.
Not 3 in a row, though, good.
No, that's...
No, that was pretty good.
That was really good.
Yeah, overall, the boys played pretty well, though, didn't they?
Played good as a team.
Yeah.
Followed what he said.
So why don't you tell us, Armando, about what exactly Lions is all about? Because you are based in Kleinburg, right?
Yeah.
Just tell us about the program and what the philosophy is behind it.
This is simple. I think we try to follow some example from Europe. Bob de Cler is bringing this mentality. He tried to develop all the club, and he took and switch players and put up and down players.
Everyone gets a chance, sort of.
Yeah, everybody a chance to play. We have each group. We have many players. Some players can play. Like I have in my team, example players with 2002 and play. I think it's for me with what I learned. I think it's good for these boys to develop them in the future and play, not scared to play against older guys and
the higher competition.
Yeah,
and such things
competition
like that.
is more give more.
Right. Xavier, as I mentioned, showed very well on Sunday. He's one of the stars of your program. Talk about him and what he brings to the game, because he was very impressive.
No, he's a good. For me, he's not only like a good player, only like a good person, good attitude. This is for me is very important, like a soccer player, and also for future too, for be a man. And but like in the game, he bring like a lot of things, like it's a magic things, like it's beautiful to see him play.
Very good 1v1 skills.
1v1 is fantastic. 1v1 is a player with nice skills, and he learned to play more with the team, and combine with the team, use the skills combine with the team. You know,
Well, I wanted to ask you, who did you pattern your game after? Who's your favorite player?
Messi. Yeah.
You know, Messi, yeah, of course.
Messi or
It's
Neymar.
either a Ronaldo or a Messi. Typically, we get one of the two, but Messi for you. Yeah. And how have you enjoyed the experience of being with of Kleinburg or the Lions, and how long have you been with the program for?
It's my first year. I used to be at Kleinberg. I came back. It's been great. He's taught me a lot
Yeah.
because he's brought from his professional background. So
Great. Good lead-in to the next point that I was going to make, which is Armando has quite the background. Caps with the Mozambique national team, as well as a Portuguese passport, played soccer with some pretty illustrious clubs in Europe. Why don't you just give us an idea? I'll let you take it away and tell us about your background.
I'm from Mozambique. I'm born in Mozambique, the country from Eusébio. Everybody know it. And I go to Portugal very young, and I started to play soccer in Portugal. And little by little, step by step, I see I have some quality to be a soccer player, and I have some chance to be. And I have a lucky to one day sign for Benfica. I say in Benfica in Portugal. I play for 3 years.
Benfica,
3 years, yeah, 3 years. I win a cup. Portuguese Cup there, and I go to Spain. I play La Liga with the big, fantastic players against fantastic players.
With Villarreal, weren't you?
Villarreal
Yeah.
and Espanyol de Barcelona, and fantastic, very, very, very good for us. I win the cup, the Copa del Rey, and I'm very lucky to have a very good CV. And I work for that, and it's everything what I learn.
Yeah.
I try to pass these kids and give something to these kids. The sacrifice I do before.
And you guys know how lucky you are to have a coach with this experience, don't you? I'm sure your parents tell you all the time as well. Before we go, we've got about a minute here. So just, one question I wanted to ask you, keep in mind the time here, but I know it could be a long answer. But when you first came and you started teaching here 4 years ago to Canada, what were some of the things you noticed immediately that needed to be worked on with your background?
I think it's the mentality, change the mentality. Because the skills, everybody says they have good players, they have very good skills, these boys. In Canada, you have talent, you have good players, but I think the mentality need to change.
Mentality.
Yeah, mentality need to be changed because for be a soccer player, you need to be very strong, very, very focused what you want to be. Not only a soccer player, everything in a life, but like a
Many distractions, but these boys need to focus a little bit more.
For sure.
Guys, we're going to have to cut it short here at times, but thank you so much for coming in. We're going to have to do this another time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, boys. And great win on Sunday, by the way. And by the way, knsc.ca for more information on the Lions. More CAF TV coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to CAF TV. To the men's open group we go now, and Toronto, Croatia was trying to get things in gear after an uncharacteristically slow start. The perennial powerhouse dropped their first game against Rise SC and then tied CAF newcomers Toronto United. So 2 games, 0 wins heading into last weekend. And they had a chance to finally notch that first W in a rematch against United on Saturday. Croatia, last year's open group champs, not used to looking up the standings at the rest of the teams. They got it together on Saturday, though. First half, Yuri Glavina, 15 yards out, on a rope. Great strike, and the Croats lead 1-0. Second stanza, United very nearly knots it up. Nico Martinez from 35 yards out, beautifully struck. Great save, though. Croatia adds some insurance late. Pretty sure it's Glavina again, and you know it's good when the keeper doesn't move a muscle. Gorgeous strike. That made it 2-0, and that's how it ends up. So it took them a little while, longer than it usually does, but Croatia nabs its first win of the season, 2-0 over United. Well, it's been tough going for Clarkson FC in their inaugural open group season. Now, they knew it would take some time to adapt, but likely they didn't think it would be this bad. Through 2 games, no points, 2 goals scored, 12 against. Ouch. So they were hoping to show just a bit better on Saturday as they took on Mississauga United. Clarkson looked like a whole different team in this game against Mississauga, who are no slouches. Early on, Clarkson on the break, the shot flies just wide of the cage, though, and then Clarkson on the attack again here, but keeper Christian Maraldo coming up with the nice stop, and then back the other way, 33rd minute, Tyrese Edwards finds daylight, and it's 1-0 Mississauga United, and Clarkson finding itself in a familiar position behind the 8 ball. 3 minutes later, it was looking like the same old story, scramble in the box. Jeff Dewick hammers it home, and poor Clarkson on its way to its third straight defeat, or so it appeared. Moments later, golden chance as the Clarkson player gets chopped down in the box, leading to a pretty obvious penalty kick, but a great stop by Meraldo, who guesses right. So poor Clarkson just can't seem to buy a goal, these guys. But then things suddenly started to click. On the charge, Meraldo makes the initial stop, but Nick Maya smokes it home, and the deficit cut in half to 2-1. Second half, all Clarkson. Unfortunate miscue from Mississauga here. The ball pops to Daniel Joda on the break. He makes no mistake, and they were even at 2 apiece. And then it's Joda playing hero for Clarkson, tearing down the wing and smoking it home for the game winner. Clarkson showing some serious heart in this game. They come back for the 3-2 win. And Joda stopped by after the match to talk about the hard-fought Clarkson win.
It was kind of lucky. I guess it was a great pass from my teammate, and I didn't really see anyone in the box when I looked up, so I just thought, why not put it on goal, and I was lucky to go in. I thought it was a tough game, really back and forth. We started really slow, but we were able to make some technical changes, and we were able to get them a win today, which was really good for the team.
Okay, just before we go, don't forget the BioSteel Canada Cup is fast approaching. The event taking place from August 5th through the 7th. It's going to be amazing. And of course, the under-16 Supergroup final to be played at BMO Field. BioSteelCanadaCup.com for more information. And this week's CAF Countdown, the top plays from the last week. Number 5. Under 16, Niagara versus Maccabi. Camilo Hernandez skies for the acrobatic stop. Beautiful save. Number 4, Fogo taking on Boost under 16. Fogo's Quinn Lenardi from 25 yards out, bringing the heat just under the bar. Nice. Number 3, Croatia against Toronto United. The Croats, Yuri Glavina, one-timer money as Croatia takes it 2-0. Number 2, count the passes for Niagara here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then Sebastian Agudo hammers it home. Beautiful passing by Niagara. And number 1, we couldn't just feature one of these. Lions United's Damien Lencina had 4 goals against Chantilly, including 3 consecutive free kicks over the wall. Now take your pick as to which one's your favorite, because we couldn't decide. There's the last one. They were absolutely clinical, part of a big 6-0 Lions win, and those are our CAF plays of the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. No games for the long weekend as the teams take a break to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday, but they will resume the week afterwards. Just remember, in the meantime, you can head to cafsoccer.com to keep up to date regarding all the events in the Canadian Academy of Football. And of course, all the social media outlets are there to check out as well. Thanks so much for watching, folks. See you next week.